Hi everyone, I'm Mike from Hobbit and welcome to episode 12 of Battle Games in Middle-earth. In this series we're diving into every issue of the iconic Battle Games in Middle-earth magazines from Games Workshop, painting models and building terrain along the way. In this episode I'll give you an overview of everything in issue 12. If you'd like the full versions of each section, check out the links in the description below. Let's get started. This week in the painting workshop we're painting Gandalf. In the modelling workshop we're creating some really cool ruins, and in Battle Game Gandalf faces off against some ringwraiths. Right at the end of the video, stick around for the 90-second flip where you can see the entire magazine. Let's dive into the painting workshop. For Gandalf I wanted to create a more dynamic grey for his robes. By mixing all three primary colours and leaning towards blue, I achieved a rich mid-grey as the base coat. Quick wash of Nuln Oil added depth, and I dry brush lighter shades until the contrast looked just right. For his skin I followed the classic Games Workshop method: Bugman's Glow as a base, a wash of Reichland Flesh shade, and layering with Cadian Flesh Tone and Kislev Flesh for highlights. The hair, beard and eyebrows were painted with an off-white base, followed by a Nuln Oil wash to bring out the texture. For the strap and scabbard I used a thin coat of phthalo blue green shade. As for the sword, I tried something new. I left it unpainted and sanded it with a high grit sandpaper for a mirror-like finish on some parts. I'm still deciding whether I should paint it. What do you think? Finally, I created a simple base to represent Moria, and Gandalf is ready for the battlefield. What do you think of this approach? Let me know in the comments below. In this modelling workshop we created some ruins, and I have to say this is my favourite build from the magazine so far. The magazine suggested making each piece on a separate base, but I decided to create a single, cohesive ruin. Here's how I did it. First, I transferred a simple template onto 2cm blue foam and cut it out with a hot wire cutter. For the stone texture, I stacked and lightly shaped the foam pillars, pressing a rock into the surface for a realistic look. For the columns, I trimmed 3cm foam rectangles into cylinders and shaped them down to 2.5cm. For the base, I carved a rough hill shape from expanded polystyrene. Once all the pieces were ready, I broke out the hot glue gun and started assembling. To add texture to the base, I sprinkled sand, then painted everything with a dark grey base coat. A light grey dry brush brought out the details. Finally, I added static grass, hedges and grass tufts to give it a natural, weathered look. What do you think of these ruins? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. In this week's battle game we played Clash of Wills, learning how to use magic and manage willpower in our games. The story begins at Weathertop. Gandalf arrives to meet Strider and the hobbits, but instead finds a Nazgul waiting for him in the shadows. Weakened from his escape from Saruman, Gandalf knows he can't take all 5 Nazgul. Instead, he comes up with a desperate plan to lead them away from Weathertop and the hobbits. The board setup features our new ruins from Modelling Workshop at the centre, surrounded by hills, trees and the standing stone from Magazine 11, representing the wilderness around Weathertop. Throughout the battle, magic played a pivotal role, using Compel and Transfix spells to keep Gandalf away from the board's edge, but Gandalf fought back, casting Sap Will to banish several of the Nazgul and reduce their numbers. Despite their relentless attempts to corner him, Gandalf's willpower held firm. He continued westward, drawing the remaining Nazgul away from the hobbits. Finally, Gandalf escaped the field, leading the Dark Riders far away from Weathertop. The result? The ring remains hidden and safe in Frodo's hands, for now. What do you think of this battle? Would you have taken Gandalf's approach or faced the Nazgul head on? Let me know in the comments below. And that's a wrap for issue 12. I really enjoyed this week's modelling workshop. The ruins turned out fantastic. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting and subscribing. Your support makes all the difference. A huge thanks to my patrons and a special welcome to Michael, our newest member. Next up, the 90-second flip.